No vacation is going to stop me from bringing you guys content. Black Panther is one of the most explosively successful films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, between making over $1 billion at the worldwide box office and becoming the first superhero movie to be nominated for Best Picture. You bet their claws they were going to make a sequel. However, the development of the sequel ran into the complication of the lead actor passing away from colon cancer. Frankly, I partially consider it a little sick that they're still moving forward with the sequel in that case, but at the same time, the recently released teaser does give me hope that they're going to treat this follow-up with respect towards the lead actor and put the focus more on Wakanda, hence the subtitle, Wakanda Forever. And at the very least, they're not doing anything along the lines of recasting the character, a CG replica, or writing the script along the lines of, T'Challa's on another mission, someone else has to carry out this task. The actor is dead, and therefore the character is dead as well. But someone has to take up the mantle of Black Panther, and who could that someone be? Well, let's start by looking at what it would take to become the Black Panther. T'Challa inherited his mantle as both king and Black Panther from his father T'Chaka, meaning that the throne could be inherited via bloodline. The king could also be challenged for the throne via ritual combat. This obviously constitutes fighting skills being a requirement for the Black Panther, but I would also add in an understanding of Wakanda's technology, particularly for the Black Panther suit. Now, out of all the characters in the first Black Panther movie, who could inherit the throne? Side note, I wouldn't rule out any characters from the comics that haven't made it into the movies yet, but since that would be a cheap cop-out for the movie crowd to replace their beloved T'Challa with just someone else, I would deem that highly unlikely. Could it be Ramonda, T'Challa's mother and queen of Wakanda? Highly, highly doubtful. Even though she already has a position of royalty as the queen, she seems comfortable in that position and never demonstrated fighting skills or an interest in learning how to fight. She could be the leader of Wakanda while someone else holds the mantle of Black Panther the same way T'Chaka held that rank before his death in Civil War, but as far as being the next Black Panther, highly, highly doubtful. What about W'Kabi? He clearly demonstrated leadership skills in the first movie and an interest in taking Wakanda in a new direction. But aside from the actor Daniel Kaluuya not being able to make it to the movie due to scheduling conflicts against Jordan Peele's Nope, part of the problem with that new direction is that no other Wakandian would support him. He was the sole supporter of Killmonger, a king that everyone else had to be intimidated into following. No one would back him as king. Plus, could you see this guy defeating T'Challa or anyone else in ritual combat? He had to call out his rhinos just to stand a chance against T'Challa. Then there's Okoye, who clearly had fighting skills and an understanding of Wakanda's technology to easily become Black Panther. I don't think it's her either. Okoye mostly had the sole desire to serve and protect the Throne King, even if it's someone with horrible intentions with Killmonger, which is not a characteristic of someone who would want to become a leader. I mean, Nakia was begging her for help in fighting back against Killmonger, and she refused to disrespect her king. She only agreed to help T'Challa when she found out he was alive and had not yet yielded, and therefore was still the king. For this reason, I don't see Okoye becoming the next Black Panther. Next up, we have M'Baku, the leader of the mountain tribe that's been deprived of Wakanda's resources, and the one person besides Killmonger to challenge T'Challa for the throne. Who would have more of a desire to become king of Wakanda that actually stood a chance? M'Baku's not part of the bloodline, so he couldn't inherit the throne unless that was in T'Challa's will, which, how would that work in Wakanda anyway? Well, anyway, he couldn't get it that way, but it could be possible that the cause of T'Challa's death could have been by M'Baku's hand in ritual combat. He'd be damned if he at least didn't try. Again. And since T'Challa has beaten M'Baku in ritual before, it would catch him off guard if he somehow won against him. So yeah, I consider him a likely possibility. Next, there's the one that everyone's been predicting is going to be the obvious choice, Shuri. She basically has everything. Bloodline, fighting skills, the spark, the spunk, the knowledge of the technology. Hell, that's an understatement. She made the friggin' technology. She's actually my favorite Wakandian character, so it would be pretty awesome to see her take her brother's mantle and become the next Black Panther. But maybe that's too obvious of a choice. Hear me out. M'Baku and Shuri could be shoo-ins for the next Black Panther, but the actual transition into becoming Black Panther could be more interesting with one character. Nakia. As I was taking notes, I was actually thinking she would be less likely of a choice, as she demonstrates on several occasions that not only does she not have any fighting skills, but that she's extremely hesitant to fighting positions. She's even terrified to fight against Killmonger without Okoye's help. And the one time she does fight, she kinda sucks at it. She describes herself as a spy with no army, and seems more interested in helping the outside world than Wakanda. But isn't that what T'Challa was attempting to do in the mid-credits scene of the first movie? And yeah, maybe she doesn't inherit the throne via ritual combat, but what if she were to marry T'Challa in between movies before his death? Would she be able to inherit the throne that way? Maybe, if she chooses. Ramonda probably isn't the Black Panther by choice, but Nakia, as T'Challa's love interest, would want to honor him in any way possible, and what better way to honor him than to finish what he started? Shuri and M'Baku seemed like easy choices to become the next Black Panther because they already have the skills for it. But a movie where Nakia chooses to take up the mantle and go through the hardships and learning skills that T'Challa had to learn would make for a much more interesting movie than, okay Shuri, there's bad guys over there, put on the Black Panther suit and kick some ass. So, at the end of the day, I guess it's less of a who will become Black Panther and more like a who should become Black Panther. But yes, while Shuri or M'Baku probably will become Black Panther, if not just by fan demand, Nakia should become the next Black Panther. But what are your thoughts? Do you think someone else will or should become the next Black Panther? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button as well as hit that subscribe button, as I have hot takes like this every Friday as well as quick reviews on the best new movie releases. I'm CM Waters, and I'll see you next week.